Just started the month of October with a dock workers strike. Do you think there's going to be some buying opportunities this month in the stock market? We're just a few days off of the S&P's all-time highs. Gold's ticking around right at its all-time highs. You got Bitcoin kind of floating around. It's, at 10,000 or so off of its all-time highs. Everything's been pretty choppy, and the volatility seems to just keep coming in once every month almost. There's been a jump the last few months. So I've been saying before the election, let's take it easy. Let's watch what's happening. Now there's this stock strike. I think this is going to be the month to, with that cash on the side, start scooping these names. Where am I looking right now? I mean, if we look at what do we think is going to get the most affected? Tech, volatility type plays, anything that's been on the high valuation range of itself, maybe like Nvidia. Who knows how the dock affect any type of chip movements or deliveries of computer parts and things like that. It's going to affect, it can affect everything if it goes on long enough. So the market is not going to trade well while there's this looming shortage of supplies that aren't moving through shores and things. So we're day one or day two into that type of news. It's still recent off the Fed news with the rate hike, but I really think that takes a pause to this. Number one, the election, and two, now there's this union and dock workers strike with the ILA, and the market is very likely gonna, I would say, either just kind of chop sideways lately, or more likely what I think is happening, we're gonna watch some cooling period right now for the next 4 weeks for sure. I would say it's October 2nd. The election is on November 5th, 2024. I don't think there's any reason to be. I mean, I would maybe trim a profit at something that's at a high right now. I'm doing that. Take a little bit off and just be ready to rebuy basically on some just like light type of trade work where I'm not unloading a bunch of positions or big holdings on anything to do that, but just anything I've seen, like there's some stuff I've had some good profit on at that point, where we're seeing the market like, okay, maybe this is a current high and we could take a little off because I'm going to reshuffle. I'm going to take the profit and I'm going to put it into one of these names I'm covering. So what are the names I'm going to be watching? I'm definitely looking at Coinbase. If I can catch Coinbase, if the market starts really selling off here in the next week or two, and we're looking for one of those days that was very much like August 5th, just the other month. It's just one of these big red days, and names just drop. Everything was on sale that day, and with the mindset of that the election is kind of going to be a catalyst of the market to change directions, or at least it kind of like uncorks it again. To there's some certainty returning, like who's going to be president, what's the market going to react to, the policies that are going to be affecting, and things that basically we're at a jam here. The end of one administration, and they're not signing some deal about extending the dock workers' pay for another 60 days. Very curious play at work there. Why they wouldn't do that before the election and things. So it doesn't matter. It's interesting. It's suspicious. It's questionable. It's all kinds of things, and it's all going to be over in another month. So I'm waiting on the side here. I'm watching these names like Coinbase. I'm watching, MicroStrategy is going to be very much tracking what Bitcoin does, but Tesla, Apple's off its all-time highs, right? Yeah. I mean, Apple, it's not like that's not one I'd run out and just start grabbing. It's a big name. It's like the safe bet. If you're not really into picking big growth plays or specific stuff, like looking for strong names getting a weak traded price. That's what we're happening. Like, I want good stuff, not anything because it drops. So just some stuff might really go pretty low, and you don't touch it at all. Just leave it be, because it's always better to buy quality, and especially just because it's discounted, buy quality that's discounted. Don't just buy everything that because it was on sale. That's not that's not the way to efficiently use your budget, which you have a limited amount of money that you can put into investments at a time. And I like to just I'm very heavy into one or two names for a long time until their price might move out of the range that I thought it was worth, just continuing to buy and buy and buy. Like Tesla right now, I think you're going to look at it in a few years and think, wow, I could have bought it when they were an $800 billion company. They're $795 billion today, $250 share price, and you could be picking them up. If they double in market cap, right, the share price will double. So if they could become a $1.6 trillion worth market cap company, which would fully come from what they're talking and promising on delivering with the full self-driving, like that's the type of, is that worth $800 billion in the world as it enters the market? Like that new emergence of technology, is it creating new value and a totally new like space opens up, and boom, that's like their commanded little territory of transportation and robots, and it's going to have some subscription or some type of revenue that people are paying for that now. So that's a new value created, and their valuation is going to explode. I talk a lot on that, over and over again, because it's still, I think, the purest play for a growth tech name of this century that we've entered. Like, what's the biggest name you can think of in the last 25 years of the 2000s that's really been world-changing level products and investment, like basically, among the thousands of percent gain? You got a few names, and I'm holding an iPhone. We all know Apple, Tesla. We've had a Tesla for a few years. They're really good cars, and I think they're going to hit right exactly what the market wants. They want safety. They want cost efficient, affordability, easy to maintain, very low cost of ownership, things like that make it easy for people to get into long-term purchase of the company's products, right? Apple won people over so well with each phone that they just buy one and another and another and another every year, every few years, however long. They've had a lifetime value of a customer for many, many times over the value of one single product sale that they ever made. And Tesla has the opportunity in the same way. Auto manufacturers, people stay generally pretty brand loyal. So you buy one Tesla, you have a great experience, you enjoy the new style of the way technology and EVs work, and you become brand loyal probably to Tesla. So you buy a second and third car over a handful of decades. An adult might purchase a few cars within their family and one or two names that they're going to stick with. So that's going to be a big play. They're going to have the software revenue side. That's why I like to talk on them. That's going to be a good name to watch. Now they have the full self-driving demo thing coming out now. They're releasing or showing it off, doing some type of unveil this month. So you have to watch that. Watch how it trades before that. But they're down 3.5% today, and that might be one of the weaker. Let's see. This is, and this is what it means, right? So they're bleeding the most for today. Market just closed. It's after 4, and this is Wednesday, October 2nd. And they're down 3.5%. And amongst all the other names, the market didn't have that bad of a day. It's kind of a little bit flat, a little bit up, closed a little bit. It's basically flat. Like the S&P closed 1 basis point up, Dow 9 basis points up. So very flat day, open to low and climb back up. I think this rest of this week, with this doc thing and all, like I've said, with the election lead up and just the uncertainty, we got only 2 days left this week. There's got to be, I think there's a Columbus holiday Monday coming up. There's only 20 trading days in the month normally, right? 5 days, 4 weeks, 5 days a week, and you got a couple holidays and a couple days we're already done with in October's trading days. So there's only another 15 something days of trading days on market open for all this to play out, like I'm saying. So in 15 more days of 15 market opens, when we watch the market open on the mornings here, what names are we going to see that are looking like just trading weak, and you start buying a little bit one day, a little bit later in the day I watch it. But that's the type of stuff. And all the videos I've had here, anything with the stocks that I've tagged or mentioned in the titles, those are all the names to watch. Coinbase, Shopify, Spotify, Apple, Tesla, Coke, and PG. I generally don't think those types of names are going to shake as much. Like I said, I would buy those growth and those undervalued big names that when there's volatility, they react more. They react a little bit higher. Like, why is Tesla down so much today? You know, that's the type of discount buy. Because if they go down another 3% or so in the next few days, now they're, you know, you're talking, that might be 10% less than they were the week before. So that's a real discount, 10% down. And if the market itself really cools for this month and we catch what could be a cool off of 10%, you know, before the election, you know, it could come close to that number. 5 to 10% could be a real pullback. That's why I'm just waiting, and you're just going to be buying, and then you're not worried if you're kind of expecting it. But I don't see how there's going to be some big bull run or something in the next 4 weeks as we have this election and everything else that's happening in the world right now, and the other things going on as far as even just this country with the hurricane just went through and tore up things. So there's a whole side of the country's rebuilding and dealing with that and cleanup, and then the dock workers thing. So watch those names and keep watching through the week here. Watch the mornings, because generally things open lower. You catch the best price, I think, East Coast time, usually before like 9 or before like 10 a.m. So like market opens at 9:30, and between 9:30 and 10, if things are opening lower, I've generally found that you can catch that they trace their way back up to maybe yesterday's a little bit, but you catch that big discount sometimes if you were looking for it and you knew you were going to buy, even if it's going to head lower. That's what I mean. You buy a little bit as it's opening low, and then watch another 15-20 minutes, and you kind of get a feel for the day. But that's the strategy for when there's just, you know, a month to kind of, I think, trade sideways or do nothing here, but catch a good opportunity. So keep an eye out, and talk to you later.